Wi-Fi. This is a Wi-Fi FPV version of the JJRC H6. Now, I did an initial test flight with this yesterday, and wanted to say, as with the other versions of the H6 that are out there, this, surprisingly enough, is still a very good flyer, very fast, even with this FPV transmitter attached to it. I was surprised. I don't know how they did it, but they did it. They were able to still make it a great flyer, and I'm going to demonstrate that here shortly. But overall, let's go over the quadcopter real quick. Notice the quadcopter has built in a 2.4 gigahertz transmission system here in the back, along with an antenna that goes out the back that transmits the camera information, which is here, to my phone via an app. There's an app in my phone via Wi-Fi. So the camera takes a picture, transmits it, and my phone will pick up the Wi-Fi signal from this quadcopter. You know, just as with if I'm hooking up to a Wi-Fi system at home, I hook it up the same way to this quadcopter. When I plug it in, I will notice on my phone, if I go into the Wi-Fi settings, I will notice the JJRC Wi-Fi signal, and all I got to do is select it and connect to it. And I did that have done that already, and so my phone knows to remember to automatically hook up to this signal when I'm out in the field like I am today. If I'm at home, and I also use Wi-Fi at home, this may prefer to use the signal from my Wi-Fi at home, so I'd have to manually go in there again and reconnect to this Wi-Fi signal from the quadcopter. Going over the quadcopter a little more closely, in addition to the phone, if you notice, there is no micro SD card port anywhere on this quadcopter. So to record from this 0.3 megapixel camera, you have to record using the app on your phone. To record the video directly to your phone, and then if you want to download it and upload it to YouTube, you're going to have to hook up a USB cable to your phone, connect it to your computer, look for the app folder that contains the app for this particular phone. Look at the snow geese flying over. Oh, I should be flying right now. I'd be going after them. And then download that video to your computer for uploading to, say, YouTube. Let's go into flight. Or before I do go into flight, let's go over the transmitter real quick. If you notice the transmitter, this changes the different rates of the quadcopter. Beginner, intermediate, it actually has 4 rates. Beginner, intermediate, and expert. If you press this button here, that activates the flip, and then you can tell which direction to flip afterwards by pushing the pitch roll stick. If you want to turn off the lights on the quadcopter to save power, you press this button here. If you want to, it has headless mode and 1 key return, which you activate by pressing this button here. It also says in the directions that these buttons here are for photos and videos, but I think that's for the H6C model. I think they're inoperative for the H6W model, since you're not recording to the memory card, you're recording to the phone, and you have to use the app on the phone to record. There's a little record button on the app. Well, I'm going to use my cheap doogie phone here, which is all scratched up from being in my pocket, but still, hopefully we'll be able to see the flight. I'm also going to use a sunscreen, my good old sunscreen here, to record the video that I'm seeing on the phone, so you'll be actually able to see what my phone is seeing in real time. So let's go for a flight of the JJRC H6W. Hope you enjoy this flight. Okay, I got the sunscreen attached. I am recording. We should be good to go. Let's start out and fly around, try to fly FPV in beginner's rate here. And it's very difficult, as you can see, mainly being the signal cuts out. That's the problem with Wi-Fi, is the signal can be somewhat choppy unless you're close in. You know, it breaks up. So if you want to fly FPV, Wi-Fi FPV, you normally have to stay very close to the transmitter, because as you get further away, let me try that, it starts to break up. And the reason being is Wi-Fi operates on the same frequency, 2.4 gigahertz frequency, as the controller, the quadcopter's controller. So they do interfere with each other. That's the problem with Wi-Fi FPV flyers. If you want to fly Wi-Fi FPV, you normally need to fly indoors and keep it close. You know, indoors it works. You know, if you're staying in your living room flying around your living room, you can do that. Kind of difficult in a enclosed space, but you can do that. But as you take it outdoors and try to fly distant, it will break up and you will lose the signal. You know, it'll become choppy. That's what I wanted to demonstrate initially here of this quadcopter. Okay, now let's demonstrate headless mode, 1 key return. I forgot which direction I was pointed at. I think I was pointed off in this direction here when I took off. Let's press the headless mode, 1 key return. Here comes the 1 key return. So that's the direction I was pointed at. Let's send it back up in that direction and demonstrate it one more time. Going up toward the headless mode direction, the direction I was pointed when I took off, pressing the 1 key return, and it does return back to me. Keep in mind, for that to work, I'm still in headless mode too, and what headless mode means is I can do this. The direction that the quadcopter is pointed is irrelevant to which direction the quadcopter goes. Forward is always forward, the direction that it took off from. Back is always back with respect to that direction. Left is always left, and right is always right with respect to that direction. So that's headless mode in a nutshell. Let me turn it off. And now it's flying normally. You know, if I push forward on the stick, it goes toward the nose of the quadcopter. Let's try the flips. Let's bring it in and show you this thing flipping. Bring it in close. Flip button. It's a little bit heavy because of the camera, so the flips are a little bit awkward. And one thing I want to do real quick is take it over here and calibrate the gyros, and let me show you how to do that. Land it on a flat and level surface, which would be this concrete. And push and hold both control sticks down to the lower left corner, I believe, on this one. Maybe it's the lower right. It doesn't seem to want to calibrate, but I'm hoping that automatically calibrates the gyros. Let's see how it flies now. See if it still wobbles when I do a flip. Let's take it out again. Flip button. That's a little better. Yeah. That weight of that antenna offsets the quadcopter a bit, so when it's doing flips it has problems. Let's demonstrate the higher rates on this quadcopter. Going to intermediate. What I want to show you all is this thing is bat out of hell. Very fast. Going downstream, coming back. That's beginner intermediate. Keep in mind there's 2 higher speeds. Let's go to intermediate expert. Whoa. Let me take it way out there before I can get a run going here. Look at that thing. Very fast quadcopter. Yeah, let's go upstream and go into expert. Let me point it toward me. Okay, expert. Super fast. Extreme pitch, just like the other H6s. It's a little race car, little red Corvette with Wi-Fi FPV. So, in effect, if you want a fast quadcopter with FPV that you can fly around indoors, this is your quadcopter. Hey, let me demonstrate the yaw rate. Notice the yaw rate in this thing in expert, though. You know, it's not any faster. It's beginner, intermediate. It doesn't seem to change. Intermediate, expert, and expert. Let me do that again. Going back to beginner. Let me go upwind a bit. Beginner yaw rate, intermediate, intermediate expert, expert. The yaw rate does not change. What does change throughout the whole thing is the pitch. The pitch becomes extreme. But that's okay. The quadcopters, by doing that, even though it has extreme pitch, this is the funnels at expert, even though it has extreme pitch, it's controllable by keeping that yaw rate slow. Mean little quadcopter with extreme pitch. Don't hit myself. Going back to beginner. So let's see, how's this Wi-Fi signal? Still recording? It's still recording. Let's take it up high. It's not blinking lights yet. Okay, I'm up high. I don't know if the Wi-Fi signal is still working. Holy moly. So when you're directly overhead, it seems to work well. Well, what do you know? Maybe that Wi-Fi signal is pretty strong on this. Let me go out about, heck, I'm about 40 meters right now. See how far I can go and still keep a signal. I'm starting to lose power. Power on the quadcopter. And, well, what do you know? It doesn't drop from the sky. It comes down gently. That's it, though, folks. That's the end of the flight. One good thing, it doesn't drop from the sky. It does a nice gradual landing. But that's it. Let me stop the recordings. I'll do that after I do my final spiel here. So that was the JJRC H6W. Very fun flyer, just like the other H6s. I enjoyed flying it, very fast, and even at the highest rates, it's still controllable. You don't have this weird yaw rate, extreme yaw rate that you can't control. You still have some good control over it. So I like this quadcopter. I'm going to double check the Wi-Fi reception here by reviewing the videos that I have recorded. Hopefully they came out well. But if it has good range on the FPV, on the Wi-Fi FPV, then this might be a buy. So I hope you enjoyed this flight. This is Quadcopter 101, signing out.